Chefs, what's the funniest way a simple recipe misunderstanding absolutely ruined your day? I'd been working at La Rochelle, this upscale French place downtown, for about 8 months, long enough to think I'd mastered the rhythm of the kitchen, short enough that I still nodded confidently whenever I didn't understand something. Head chef Marlene trusted me with prep. She spoke in clipped commands that made the whole brigade jump, and I wasn't about to look clueless in front of her. That's why, on a Tuesday morning before service, when she leaned over my station and said, "Ethan, Julia and the carrots," I nodded like I knew exactly what she meant. What I actually heard was, "Julia and the carrots." And because asking a simple question felt scarier than breaking down a whole pig, I convinced myself this was some advanced French technique named after a chef I'd never heard of. Caesar had a salad, Wellington had beef, obviously Julia Ann had carrots. I pulled out my phone and started Googling. Julia Ann carrot method, Julia Ann presentation style, nothing but Pinterest boards of vegetable art and food bloggers carving radishes into roses. Perfect, that had to be it. 3 hours later, my prep station looked like a fever dream. I'd carved and stacked 5 pounds of carrots into elaborate typography across a dozen plates, block letters, script letters, even cursive fonts, each one proudly spelled Juliaanne in bright orange. My cutting board looked like a typography competition hosted by Bugs Bunny. Kevin, another line cook, walked by and stopped cold. "What the hell are you doing?" "The Julia Ann technique," I said with full confidence. "It's all about storytelling through vegetables." Kevin opened his mouth, closed it, shook his head, and walked away. I figured he was intimidated. Then Marlene returned. She took one look at my carrot graffiti, and her face went through 5 emotions in 5 seconds. Confusion, horror, disbelief, rage, despair. "Explain," she said, so I did. For 5 straight minutes, I gave her a TED talk on the Julia Ann method. I walked her through the block fonts versus the cursive fonts, explained how typography on plates was going to be the future of fine dining, and finished by proudly presenting my carrot masterpieces. Marlene set down her clipboard, sat me at the prep table, and very calmly explained that julienne just means cut into thin matchsticks. Knife skills day 1. Nothing fancy. No Julia, no Anne. And then it all unraveled. She started quizzing me on other terms. "Brunoise?" "Oh, brunoise," I said. "That's why I hum when I dice onions." Her eye twitched. "Chiffonade?" "Chef's lemonade. I've been offering to get you a drink every time you said it." By the time I admitted I once asked a server if they'd seen Mr. Roux's sauce, Marlene was staring at me like I'd been cooking out of a children's cartoon the entire time. The whole kitchen was watching now. Kevin had gathered 2 other cooks to silently witness my public execution. One of the dishwashers actually clapped when I said, "Chef's lemonade." Marlene spent the rest of the shift walking me through the knife skills manual, like it was the 10 commandments, while I wanted to crawl into the walk-in freezer and disappear. But she didn't throw away the carrot plates. She kept 3 of them, hung them in the break room as Julia Ann's masterpieces. Now every time I walk past those orange letters, Kevin nudges me and says, "Careful, Ethan, don't forget to brunoise the onions." I wanted to be a chef. Instead, I became the guy who turned a basic knife cut into 12 plates of carrot graffiti.